Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Matters TV. On this channel, we focus on everything related to early childhood care and education. If you're interested in this kind of content, kindly subscribe. Not just only subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that whenever a new video is dropped on this channel, you will definitely be the first person to be notified. Today's video is going to be all about partnership, family, in relation to communication tips. Yes, in this video, I'm going to be giving out tips in relation to how to communicate with family. It's no news if you've been following me on this channel. Partnership with family is key. In relation to early childhood care and education, partnership with family is key. It's been proven by a lot of international and national policies and legislations that families are important in a child's early childhood education. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, related to Ireland where I'm based, ASHTA, the National Curriculum Framework Early Childhood in Ireland, on family being part of children's early childhood education. So it's been proven by policies, legislations nationally and internationally that family are in relation to a child's early childhood education. So now let's dive into communication tips. So you understand as an early childhood educator that in relation to communicating with family, it's not a one-size-fits-all. This is what you have to understand, that in relation to communicating with family, what might work for family A might not work for family B. And this you have to understand, that if you want to communicate with family, it's not a one-size-fits-all. And in relation to family, I'm not talking about parents alone. I'm talking guidance, grandparents. There are a lot of people taking on a role in relation to child's early childhood education. For instance, the parent might be busy, working. It might be the grandparents, it might be the uncle, the nephews, nieces that might have to be involved in the child's early childhood education, or that might be dropping the child to preschool. So this is where you have to tailor your communication. You have to needs of those people. So you need to understand that in relation to communication, informal conversation, informal chat might work with some family, but in other way it might not work with some family. So this is where you have to understand their needs in terms of communication. And in terms of communication as well, you have to think about language barrier. There are some families that, for instance, maybe English is not their first language. So you have different means that you have to communicate with them. You have to get, for instance, maybe a translator that would have to translate whatever you're saying to them. It might be like digital translator as well. So you have to factor all of this in relation to communicating with family. For some parents, it could be informal chat during drop up and pick up time. During collecting the child, they might be available for informal conversation with you. For some family, they might not be available. Maybe, for instance, if they're working, for instance, you want to communicate with the parents about their child. If they're not available to meet up with you, if they're not, think about and communicate with them. It could be, for instance, through phone call. It could be through Zoom. So you have to think outside the box. You're not just going to imagine, well, I want to communicate with them. I want to meet them face to face. But you need to understand that they might not be available to meet up with you due to, for instance, they might not have flexible working hours that they can meet up with you during your own working hours. So now switch the feeling around. Can you this meeting online? You could ask them when is their break time, when are they available for an online call, an online chat. So what you're doing is you're being flexible in relation to your approach. Like I said, communicating with family, it's not a one-size-fits-all. Some parents might not be available to meet up with you. It might be through digital means. So think about digital. We can communicate with family as well. If you have information around, think about digital ways that you can do this. If they are not available to meet up with you, are you going to set up a WhatsApp forum for family where you can post out content or information in relation to school setting, in relation to what's going available to meet up with you face to face? You could do online as well. You could do like conferences as well. In relation to these conferences, it doesn't have to be on site. It could be webinar, it could be online as well. So there are different things that you have to think outside the box when your communication with family. It should not be a one-size-fits-all. You have to be available to meet up with me. If you're not available, that is it. That's when I'm available. So you have to be flexible. Think about the circumstances of the family. For instance, let's talk about culture. You might want to communicate with some family, but because of their culture, for instance, let's imagine in some culture that the men will have and then you're trying to communicate with the mothers, for instance, and they're not to the mothers for look beyond. They're proving difficult. They don't want to engage in conversations with me. It's not that they don't want to engage in conversations with you, but because of their culture, the men always have to take the lead. So you have to think about some of the things that you don't get to see. It's not just imagining, oh, I'm trying my best here in relation to your child, you're proving difficult. No, there are a lot of barriers. It's not that they don't want to. It could be work schedule, for instance. They're busy, they don't have and they look at it, well, they look at it, I have to work, I'm in charge, I have to work to take the bills, I have to work to take care of my children as well. Language could also be a barrier as well. They want to communicate with you, but they don't know how to express themselves. It could also be through personal experiences as well. Maybe the experiences they had before wasn't palatable. So now coming into a new environment or new preschool, they might be a bit laid back. So you need to think outside the box. It's not that these families don't want to communicate with you, but there are some challenges. So in my next video, I'm going to continue by these challenges. I'm going to dive into your correlation to communicating appropriately with families. And if you found this video helpful, kindly subscribe. You're not paying to subscribe. All you're just that says subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that whenever a new video like this is dropped on this channel, you definitely be the first person to be notified. And until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.